Hello, I'm Nito. This is my first ever appearance on this channel, though the odd will be of Bob because, well, reasons. Today we're gonna be doing something a little different. Today I'll be talking about my experience with emotions. As a musician and as someone who's gone through burnout and has clinical depression, I have a lot of experience with emotions. However, there was a time where I felt like I couldn't feel any emotions, or rather, pleasure from any activities. But it's not that I actually lost the ability to feel those emotions, my brain is actually just suppressing it. And it's pretty common with depression. A core symptom of depression is where the feeling of pleasure gets suppressed and is also known as anhedonia. Other than that, there's also something else called emotional blunting, where other emotions such as anger or sadness become numb, and you don't get the urge to yell while you're angry or cry while you're sad. You're just numb. You don't feel anger, you don't feel sadness, you're just numb. Some might think that this is a good thing, something like letting go of worldly desires. And at first glance, that might be true, but if you delve into it a little bit deeper, you'll start to realize that all emotions are a necessity. Losing the ability to feel sadness and anger might seem beneficial at first glance, as these emotions are often associated with distress and negativity. However, it is generally not considered a healthy or desirable state. Emotions, both positive and negative, are essential for a balanced emotional life, providing crucial information about our needs and well-being. Negative emotions, like anger and sadness, can motivate personal growth and change. For instance, anger can drive us to address injustices and set boundaries, while sadness can lead to self-reflection and healing. Without these emotions, we might miss important signals that could help us improve our lives and relationships. Emotions also play a crucial role in social interactions and relationships. Sharing feelings of sadness or anger can foster deeper connections and understanding between people. Emotional numbness, on the other hand, can lead to social withdrawal and isolation, making it difficult to connect with others on a meaningful level. Additionally, emotional numbness can lead to a sense of emptiness or a lack of purpose. Emotions give color and depth to our experiences, and without them, life can feel monotonous and unfulfilling. They're also essential for making decisions that align with our values and needs, guiding us towards choices that promote our well-being. Now, some philosophical or spiritual traditions advocate for detachment from worldly desires and emotions to achieve inner peace. But in my opinion, this usually refers to achieving a balanced state of mind rather than complete emotional numbness. Practices like mindfulness encourage accepting and experiencing emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Rather than losing the ability to feel certain emotions, the goal should be to regulate emotions in a healthy way. This involves recognizing and understanding the role of different emotions, developing coping strategies, and seeking support from mental health professionals when needed. While it might seem advantageous to be free from the distress caused by sadness and anger, these emotions play crucial roles in our overall emotional health and well-being. Achieving a balanced approach to emotions where they are understood, accepted, and managed healthily is generally more beneficial for long-term well-being. Now that I've explained anhedonia and emotional blunting, I want to share with you all my experiences with that. Truthfully speaking, I was not in the right mind a lot of times during my high school to college era. During that era, the pandemic was happening, and everything consisted of waking up, going to online classes, do whatever I like play games or play music or whatever, and then I just go back to sleep. And that cycle continued for around 2 years. I thought I was doing fine, but when it came to the point where my grandma passed away from the pandemic, I realized I lost the ability to feel emotions. When I was at her funeral, I couldn't cry. I knew I should have cried, but I couldn't. Then I thought I should be angry with myself because I couldn't be sad for her passing. Then I realized I couldn't feel angry. Then I gave it a lot of thought and I realized I haven't been enjoying anything I've been doing for the past year. During those years, I contemplated suicide a lot. I would cut myself to try to feel something. I couldn't care less what it is I feel, be it remorse, sadness, or anger. I was desperate to feel something. I've been doing medication since before the pandemic happened because I was already clinically depressed and experienced heavy hallucinations, but I was still able to feel. It was during the pandemic that I went absolutely insane trying to make myself be able to feel again. After that whole fiasco, I was taken to my psychiatrist again and I was given different and stronger meds. The recovery progress was super slow, but I steeled myself through it. This might be cheesy, but it wasn't until I watched the anime movie Suzume with my college friends that I realized the recovery progress was working and that I could feel again after so long. At first, I just teared up during the ending. Then I realized I was crying. And then I fully realized I was crying and I couldn't stop. I just kept on crying even as I went out the theater. It was a rather embarrassing moment, but thankfully one of my friends lent me his shoulders to cry on. I realized then that I could feel again. Obviously, it wasn't instantaneous. I probably was able to feel emotions weeks or maybe a month or two before watching that movie, but I didn't realize it until then. Ever since then, I continued to be on my meds until I got better, and after I got better I took maintenance meds. And this is another story, and a rather important one. If you're undergoing recovery with medications and a doctor tells you to keep drinking your meds even though you feel fine, do it. Those medications are also called maintenance medications, and they are just as important as the main recovery medications. If you don't take the maintenance meds provided by the psychiatrist, you could just all of a sudden feel really down like how I did. I thought I was feeling fine, so I stopped taking my meds. Then all of a sudden I felt the most depressed I've ever been. It felt like I just built a castle by hand only for it to crumble the next second because of a slight wind. It felt like nothing mattered. I won't get into too much detail in this one, but in the end I went to my psychiatrist again and I started the recovery process again. This time, I stuck with what the doctor said. Anyways, that's basically it for my story. I guess what I'm trying to say with this whole thing is to be aware of what you're feeling and those around you. If you feel like you can't feel happy or any emotion for that matter, or maybe you feel sad all the time, or maybe you can't focus on something for more than 5 seconds, get it checked. Your mental health and well-being is very much important and just as important as your physical health. Seek professional help if you have the means to, and if you see someone struggling with mental illnesses, please don't be shy to help them out. It doesn't have to be anything big. Ask them how they're doing, if they need any help, if they want to talk. God knows what I would have done for a simple talk with someone while I was down. Anyways, I truly hope that with this video I've encouraged some people to seek help from someone, be it professional or just help in general. If you ever feel down, do remember that you are loved, and of course, you matter.